San Antonio!
Let's go, San Antonio. See, I did it again already.
Let's go.
I'm already leaning in.
Yeah. Let's rodeo.
Let's rodeo. Let's go, San
We're a few
Antonio.
months late on that.
So it feels like we haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, we took a couple weeks off. We had some episodes stacked up. But we had some exciting things happen.
We've had a lot of things going on.
So I think we both had kids that graduated. Mine graduated kindergarten. Yours
graduated high school.
Yeah.
And in a way, my son-in-law, he graduated, or not my son-in-law. We gotta take that out. My daughter's boyfriend.
I mean, unless you're speaking into the future.
He's a good kid. We'll see what happens. But he graduated from A&M this as well. So we got a lot of people graduating, a lot of people going back to school. I just got back. I just got my new hat from Rice University. I've been waiting to tell you about the whole experience of taking Thea to college and dropping her off. It was a bit surreal. It was kind of interesting.
Tell me about it.
Well, what's funny is I didn't even understand what we were doing when we were doing it. And part of that has to do with actually NCAA rules and stuff and when they could do things. So we were originally told that she wasn't going up there until June 13th. And then it changed to June 9th. And then all of a sudden it was okay, we're going up June 5th because we have to she has to get a blood work and some EKG, some medical screening stuff. And I just thought we had to do that then because school didn't start till June 10th for the summer session. And I thought we were just going up so that she could get her blood work. So we planned out, got an Airbnb and everything, and planned on going to the museums, which we did. We still got to go to the museum, but when we got there, we just sat. We got to the school at probably 9:30 that morning, Wednesday morning, and she went back to get her blood work done, and we just kind of sat around and did nothing and waited in an open area where the football area. And because everybody was there, every football player coming in, every basketball, all the athletes had to come in and get all their health stuff. And so I thought we were going to leave there and go do something else. And no, we left there, and then we got her into her dorm room, which was cool. She this is funny. They moved her from one room to another room, and the room that she got put into, she's in a single room on the first floor. So everything sounds great. You got a room by yourself and everything. She's going to have to share the bathroom with the neighboring room, but it's not connected. And so it's on the first floor, so it's going to be easier for us to move her in, right? And the bottom floor, she's the only girl on the bottom floor. It's all football players. So
that's weird.
It's she's the only one on this whole floor that's football players. And she shares a bathroom. So, she's oh, that's going to be fine. It's not that big deal. And, what are the odds? Man, the first time she has to go to the bathroom, bad, okay, I got to go now. And that's, the only bathroom on the floor that's open to the public. Mm-hmm. Everybody else kind of shares bathrooms except for these rooms at the end. And she says she waited about 10 minutes.
Well, if you think about it, I'm sure they both have their own access, so they don't even think about the other person.
They don't. It's to get into the bathroom. You have everybody has their own key, and if it's occupied, then you throw the deadbolt, and it has reserved, vacant kind of thing like that. And so if they throw the deadbolt, you know someone's in there.
Yeah.
And it's your sink to brush your teeth. It's the toilet, and it's the shower. So it's everything all in one. So I can see somebody being in there for a long time, and finally, after 10 minutes, she said she knocked, and finally, what she described, it could only be this huge lineman of a guy. He's and it's they're still kids, right? So he's oh, were you waiting this whole time? And she's yeah. And he goes, oh, I wouldn't go in there.
And honestly, he was probably on TikTok most of the time.
Probably on TikTok. And she's I had to go in. And it was bad, she said. It was funny.
That kind of sucks.
That's dorm.
Are they going to try to change it,
line.
or are they going to try to?
No. So this is just for the summer. This is their summer dorm. So that's the thing is, once she's only there until July 25th.
It's a month.
Little she'll be there for 6 or 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. So like right now, what she's doing is like they don't have the coaches aren't there's no practice, but they have open gyms that like the upper class will lead, and they'll do like play workarounds and drills. She is doing some testing with their trainer, and they're like doing like strength testing, agility testing, and so she touched 10 feet 3 inches on her approach is where her reach is. She has the highest approach of anybody on the team right now.
So she's basically the Wemby of Rice.
She's yeah. I'm not going to disagree. But yeah, she's got the wingspan, and everything of Wemby. But yeah, so it's fun because we've already like started planning out trips. We started looking at the calendar and the schedule, and their opening conference opener. So they've got some like little tournaments that we'll go to up in Rice and everything like that. Like a lot of stuff in August is at Rice in Houston, which is great for me. I feel for all of these parents whose kids are playing in like New York and all these other.
Yeah.
Oh man, the fact that it's 3 hours away is great. And they're opening the opening conference game. It's on a Friday, September 27th. So I won't be in the office. And it's at Tulane,
which is right across
New Orleans. Yeah, which has a casino, Harrah's. My mom loves a slot machine, a penny slot, and everything.
So the whole family's going.
Me and my brother love, we like to gamble a little bit. So we're gonna go. I talked to my dad. They have a game Friday night in New Orleans, and then Sunday they play back in Rice at like 1:00. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna drive out Thursday.
Catch the next.
Maybe play golf in the morning Friday, go to the game, go to the casino, wake up, maybe play another round of golf, go eat some good New Orleans food, drive back through Houston, catch another game. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
That's cool.
I'm gonna live it up. I was told once by somebody that I could further my career if I didn't focus on my kids, and I've never listened to them.
I think that's crazy. Like
it's exact opposite of what I could ever do or want to do. Yeah, I mean, you've had your, so that's where I've been for the last week and everything, and everything's getting up into this. Kind of why we took some time off, like getting ready to say goodbye. We've had some fun stuff with the other siblings and things. So
that's cool. Yeah, we took the last week. We were down in Rockport, kind of just hanging out. We had like Airbnb guests checked out on Sunday, and the next one was checking out on Friday. So we had that whole week, and we're like, man, let's just go down and just hang out and relax. So that was nice.
We had a great Airbnb experience. I think that you see these Verbo commercials all the time, and they compare like Verbo to Airbnb, and I've never got that comparison and understood that comparison. Like I've always used like Airbnbs, and the one we stayed at in Houston had a pool. It was a condo association. You could tell it was close to Rice, which is close to the medical center and area and stuff like that. And you could tell that they probably had like a lot of travel nurses and stuff and corporate
rentals.
Corporate contracts with hospitals and stuff like that, where they're just rotating different people in there through their stuff. But it was a great experience. We had a good time.
See, people compare VRBO.
It's the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, ours is listed on both VRBO and Airbnb, so a lot of people list them on the same platforms. So most of the time, it's the same houses.
So here's a question for you, because part of what I really enjoyed about this Airbnb experience was the host was very attentive, right? As far as answering any questions I had and stuff like that, getting for access code or whatever. But also, like the next morning, like there was like a message, and I was like, I wonder if he did this or if this was like an automated kind of thing.
You can automate it,
and that's what I figure. And at the same time, I was telling Jennifer, it's like, we do similar things. A lot of times we have a lot of automated messages, and it's like I don't care. I think it's automated, but I don't care because I know that like if I respond to it, he's then going to respond automatically, and it's a trigger for me to like, hey, is everything okay and everything, and it was, and it's like it was fun.
I don't always send the automated message out, especially the next day and things like that. I don't want to bother people. Usually, if they have an issue or they have a question or something, they'll reach out and ask. But yeah, I mean, that's something we do. We set up some automated messages. We set up some things like that to kind of take care of people. Usually, if it's somebody that asks me a question about something, I'll give them some restaurant recommendations and things like that as well. I'm just like, hey, by the way, if y'all are gonna eat lunch, here's my favorite breakfast lunch place, and here's my favorite dinner place.
What's your favorite breakfast brunch place in Rockport?
In Rockport, it's called Our Family Kitchen.
What do you like? What do you get?
I get the chicken fried steak and eggs, and it's probably the best chicken fried steak I've had. Everything there is just kind of homemade, home cooked, family atmosphere. Like we go down there. I didn't think we go down there a lot, but usually people recognize me. I'm usually a little bit more memorable than Delilah. I tell people, but like Delilah ran into.
She just kind of
She
tries not to be recognized.
Yeah, that's her thing. She don't want to be recognized, but she ran in to check in, and they're like, "Oh, hey, so it's you, it's y'all four and the baby, right?" And she was like, "What?" And we hadn't been down there in 3 or 4 months, like. And every time we go, but it was kind of cool. They're like,
there's nothing there's nothing like having that place where, because you feel like you're home, like you're not an interloper anymore. You know, it's funny because I stay out in Cashville, right? And the other morning I was out on the patio and one of the guys playing golf, like it's right there on the first tee, like you see him all. His name's Trey, great guy, lives down the street from us. And he was teeing off and everything, and it's like, we ended up going up to the fence line. He came over, we talked, and told him about my new clubs, this and that, and everything. And I was telling my dad later because we were going to go play golf, and I said, that's the first time I didn't feel like an outsider. Like I feel like okay, and it's all been about part of like joining up and playing a lot of golf over there and everything.
Well, you got those new clubs now, so you're kind of bougie.
I just got them though, so I'm like. I'm not bougie, but it's they are nice clubs.
Look, he's kind of bougie. Like, don't let him.
The clubs are nicer than I am. They're like, but we'll see what happens with them. So far, I really like them.
Yeah,
it's good.
I mean, you might be on the PGA next year. Who knows?
At least the senior. I'm going for the senior tour. I'm going to be a late bloomer, so I'm going to wait till I get to 60. So I've got like 9 years to get better. So
get it.
Hey, do the things that we talk about doing and everything. We'll have plenty of time to play golf in the long run.
That'll be exciting. So dropping the kids off at Rice, dropping your daughter off at Rice. How are the other kids taking it without having her there? I know it's kind of a difference for especially your younger daughter, right?
She's the one that's going to feel it the most for sure. Along with me, and her mom, but
so you got to kind of throw an extra little love in there to.
But at the same time, it's interesting because like Elena now is like she's going into 7th grade, so she's getting older, she's getting more mature, and I don't know if it's to her how much she likes it, but Jennifer made the comment that she goes, she's really kind of like getting my sense of humor now, like and like comedy and being funny is like. That's all I have.
Yeah.
I don't have good looks or anything like that. I just try to be funny. And so she's starting to get my jokes and everything. And like, she'll look at me and she'll give me that side eye and kind of the grin. And like, it's like, oh, inside we got it.
So you got to limit your jokes a little bit, huh?
No. It's not limited. It's like, we're starting to get that connection more now that she's getting a little bit older and everything. So, out with the old, in with the new. Tia's gone. Let's go.
You replaced her. Tia, you've been replaced.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's like the older ones, they all played volleyball, and Elena, she's not volleyball at all. Like that's the one sport she's refusing to play, but she's trying a lot. She tried soccer. She's doing camps, like summer camps right now, so she's trying a bunch of them. So she did. She started off with soccer camp. She's doing water polo camp right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Inside sport, it does get humid inside those natatoriums and everything, but I think that'd be a good sport. She loves the water. She's a little fish.
You think she just doesn't like volleyball, or she doesn't want to like grow up in their shadows of volleyball?
She has a lot of she doesn't like a lot of noise and loud noise and stuff like that, and then it's the whistles and stuff like that. I just don't think that I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, especially being in a confined space like
it's it's a lot. Like I wear earplugs most of the time, especially going to those big conventions. Even if I didn't have like music on it, and like if you would not see me out without like AirPods or something, at least limiting some of the sound coming to my ears.
It gets pretty loud.
Yeah, but I don't like a lot of loud noise either. But but she's she's going to try a lot of stuff, and we'll see what she does. I'd love to get her to play golf, but she says no.
That's a quiet sport, right?
It is, but like it's it's hot. It's outside. It's a lot. It's hot. Being a golfer in South Texas, it's hot.
Do you usually try to get the morning times?
I don't care. Like when we leave here today, I'm gonna rush out there. I'll tee off about 6 o'clock. It'll be 102 degrees and nobody else will be out there, and I can finish in a couple hours. And it'll be perfect.
You rent the carts and everything? Or do you walk it?
I drive. I'm old. I'm trying to play fast. I'm trying to get exercise.
So speaking of golf, I don't know too much about golf, and I don't know if a lot of our listeners play a lot of golf or whatnot. What is your favorite golf course to play in San Antonio, and why?
You know what? You can't play it right now. They're rehabbing it. The Quarry golf course. There's a lot of fun golf. The thing about San Antonio, it's got a lot of really nice golf courses. Some are better than others. Some have the potential to be great and just don't hold up to it. Olympia Hills over in Schertz. It's actually in Universal City. It's municipal owned by the Universal City. At least the last time I went there. It may not be now, but the layout it's kind of in the hill country. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of undulation, if you will, in the golf world. But the greens are always bad. They can't keep good greens. Whatever the drainage is and whatever, there's always an issue, especially certain holes. There's always been issues. And I haven't played there in 15 years, and a friend of mine played out there, and he goes, yeah, but some of the greens, I was like, it's the same thing. And I don't think there's anything they can do about it.
I think it's probably because it's city-owned.
Well, they'd have to put a lot of money to create new I don't know. I'm no greenskeeper. Yeah. But the thing I like about you've got TPC, which is where they play the Texas Open, which is great. You have the Lock and Terra, which they used to play the Texas Open, which is great. And those are always in great condition. The thing I like about the Quarry, other than it's expensive compared to a municipal, but it's not expensive compared to TPC. Well, who knows when they reopen it, because they're redoing a lot of the greens and stuff like that. But in golf, you've got styles of courses, and one of the styles that you have is what's called links. And it's sort of like what the British Open and stuff like that, and where it's real flat and real windy, and the balls will go forever. And the front nine of the Quarry is like that. It's up on top. Mm-hmm. And so high weeds and stuff like that, not a lot of trees, but it's always windy because there's always wind coming through San Antonio, coming off the Gulf. And then when you play the back nine, you go down into the Quarry. So now it's not. And so there's no wind. So in the middle of summer, it's hot as hell. Because it's stagnant.
I played the Quarry. I've only played golf one time.
But you know what I'm saying? It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. And that's what I like about it, is because you kind of get
both.
2 in 1. And it's a fun course. The back nine is tough though. I remember when we flooded, how flooded that golf course got. It was up all the way up in the corner. That whole thing was underwater.
I don't remember. That was the flood of '98.
This one, I think it was the 2003 one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've had a couple.
I don't remember exactly, but I do remember
so
on
young.
one of the floods. We went to go get me some school uniform shirts because our school had uniform, and coming back, we drove through the Quarry, and that dam was full. I remember that. And you think about it, I was probably 9 years old, but I remember seeing that the water was almost to the highway.
Well, that's the thing, is I do tell people, you see that big water,
that pole
that goes up 20-something feet, that seems a little bit upset. Nah, keep an eye out.
I told Delilah the same thing. I was like, nah, the water can go up to the stores in the Quarry.
The one in '98, I was working at Rudy's Barbecue in Leon Springs when it happened, and we ended up on the roof, because the flood, it was coming in. And people were freaking out, and we ended up on the roof. And it's funny, if you go out there now, even today in the back room, there's a mural on the wall, and it shows people on the roof. And it doesn't look like me, but that's me.
You know what? Speaking of floods and things like that, one of the coolest things, I don't know if you've been to the Houston Aquarium. If you haven't, y'all need to go. And you go on that train ride, and it takes you around. And they actually have markers where they point it out and show you. hey, with Harvey, this is how high the water got.
Is that just the Houston Railroad? Like it has like the train that goes around all that stuff around Herman Park? Or?
No, it just goes around the aquarium. And they had like some markers up there, and it's crazy how high that water got.
They flood a lot.
They hold water pretty well.
They hold water pretty well.
Unfortunately.
The
So Quarry's your favorite golf course.
yeah.
What's your favorite driving range, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. The one I do like going down to the one on Mulberry because a lot of times you can hit off of the grass or the mat, and that's the only one that will give you the option almost every single time. And like I don't mind hitting off the mat to get some practice and stuff like that, but it's obviously not the same as hitting off the ground. So like there you can do that, which is nice.
Where's the one on Mulberry? Is that the one like San Pedro and Bassie?
No. It's closer to Brackenridge Park. So
okay.
Like the train that goes,
the one that goes by. Oh, okay.
the one that goes,
exactly
where it's got
about.
the little parking lot right there. And
I didn't realize that was Mulberry. I would just call that Brackenridge Park area.
no, that's off. Yeah, can go a little farther. You got Shake Shack.
Shake Shack is good.
And good. Talk about. Man, ADD like.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
The Good Time Charlie's, the chicken fried steak. You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. Our family kitchen's better.
Lulu's. I used to love getting the one with the queso on top of it.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was really good. But no, so the one on Mulberry, what's also cool about that one is that's where the First Tee program, and that's like the PGA program that does for youth program and stuff like that. So they do a lot of youth like camps and things like that there at that location. And because of that, they don't have normal range balls. They have like actual golf balls. So like I don't know.
They're nicer.
A little bougie.
What does it cost to go to the driving range?
So there, I was just there yesterday. They have, I can't remember what a small bucket was, but the medium bucket is $14 and the large was $16. And if memory serves me, they estimate that you get like 110 golf balls in a large bucket. So, I mean, it's a good deal. Like that. Like again, it's like it's super reasonable.
Yeah.
It's a good the problem is the problem for me, like going to the range, is I don't do it a lot. Is that you just hit.
So you get sore.
You get tired, and like when you're playing golf. It's a relaxing thing. It's like you hit the ball and you sit back, you get a drink, you drive up, go watch somebody else hit, then you go watch this. Oh, I'm gonna hit again. And we were swimming and everything with Elena this weekend and stuff like that. And I told Elena, I was like, man, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I'm like, I'm good. I've already been out here for like hours. And Jennifer made the comment. She goes, yeah, you play golf like all the time and everything. I was like, it's not taxing. No. I'm not building up like stamina out there.
Part of that pool stuff, I mean, is just sitting back, chilling by the pool.
That's what Elena, when it's constant games. It's game. And
that's how my kids are too. I mean, to be fair.
the first, it's like, you got to do like a memory type game. Like she'll do a trick. And then you do the same trick, but then you add a trick to it. And then she'll do the first trick and the second and the third and add another. And you keep on adding on. And by the time you're doing like 6 tricks, you've already done like 30 tricks. And it's like, baby, I'm tired. Like, what are we doing here? I can only do so many flips. Oh, my God.
Was that at the pool, at the condo?
It was. And again, it's like you don't see this all the time. It had an 8-foot section. So it had a deep section and 5. So it's like it was a fun pool. Like it was just. Sometimes everything just kind of works out.
You know what pool I like, but the kids don't? At the Thompson.
The Thompson?
Downtown. So it's like a rooftop pool.
Oh.
But like the steps go down, and like as soon as you step off the step, it's like 5 foot.
That's
so there's no like 3 foot for the kids, so they have to play on the steps, and they don't like that.
I think I wrote this down to talk about, actually talking about pools. I think. No, I saw it though. There's like one of the things that people don't realize is like how many public pools there are in San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
There's like I think 16 or 18 public pools. We used to go down to the one at the San Pedro Springs.
That's the one I was going to talk about. I've never been there, but it's naturally spring fresh.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cold water. It's like big pool, so there's like plenty of space and stuff.
And there's
like
shade, right?
There's some shade.
That's the killer part about pools, in my opinion, is there's no shade, especially during the summer,
Yeah.
which I understand, like you're keeping the leaves and stuff out. But I'm too white for that. I burn.
I got a strip. I got right across my belly. I burn. I pit. Man, I pit sunblock because I'm like I got a pretty good tan. I'll tell you because I play like I'm outside a lot, and I don't usually use sunblock because I build up that tan.
Yeah.
But like I've got a farmer's golfer's tan like nobody.
I thought you were talking about the strip. I was gonna say.
Well, that's the thing
I
is
thought
I
you were
put it-
swimming with a crop top.
No. It was a medium shirt and it wouldn't cover my belly button. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nice pools here in San Antonio.
Yeah, and New Braunfels, I like the one at Landa Park, the natural pool there.
Yeah, that one's nice. I like to go, when I go to New Braunfels, we like to go to Fisher Park. Mm-hmm. They have that big splash pad up there. That one's really nice. There's a lot of splash pads. There's a lot of pools.
The Pearl has the splash pad that's fun. Like if there's, I mean, I swear to God, it's like people are. It's like a San Antonio attraction. It's like people go there just to go to
the splash pad.
To the splash pad.
That's probably why
You got 2-hour parking.
You know what's nice? SeaWorld, Aquatica. So we got a pass there. It's like $10 a month, and they give you some like free passes to get other people in and free.
That's their water park part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just redid like the whole little splash pad thing for the kids.
Yeah.
So that's nice to just go hang out. Like just a lot of people make a big day out of it. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to chill for like an hour or two and then...
The best way to enjoy those parks are in small
Chunks at a
increments.
time.
Little small increments. Go there for this. You want to go ride a couple rides? Go then when nobody's there, like first thing in the morning or towards the end where you can just go ride a couple rides, dip in, dip out and everything.
That's what we do is we go towards the end of the day, but when they're about to close the water park, maybe a couple hours before they close it, go hang out there for a little bit.
They changed the way their passes were. I knew kids that their parents would buy them like a Fiesta Texas summer pass because it's like 150, 200, whatever it was. And then that was their daycare. They would drop them off. They had the meal tickets and then the drink tickets. So they basically used it as as a
That's
summer.
smart.
Then they changed. Yeah, but they changed like it's not as affordable to do that anymore. The way that they've changed their rules.
Well, I don't know about food and whatnot, but I mean, for the passes for both, you can get it for like $10. You can set up on a monthly pay, like $10 a month.
Well, that's the thing is like they just want to get you in the door.
Yeah.
Like they don't like everybody, like the passes aren't usually because they're gonna get the people from out of town. Mm-hmm. They only expect you to pay one time. So if you pay one time and you get a season pass out of it, they're gonna get you on the.
They only expect you to show up once or twice.
Yeah. Did I tell you I still work at Fiesta Texas?
Really?
Yeah, I was a waiter. They had when you first walked in, there was a little Mexican restaurant called Mi Pueblitos. And I had to go in and put a little, like go in and change. Like they had like the studio, we had like a little vest, had like a puffy pirate shirt.
You know what I always remember about Six Flags is that little show they had towards the back that was kind of like Grease.
Mm-hmm. On the rockabilly, on the boardwalk or whatever.
I remember always going to like we didn't go a bunch, but like whenever we went, like I remember my parents would always go in there and watch that when it was in like a little auditorium.
When you're getting concussed by the rattler.
And the neck injuries.
All the neck injuries. So here's the kind of an interesting segue, but kind of with graduations. One of the things I noticed, Thea did not get the Valero Alamo Bowl scholarship for Alamo Heights. One of the things that's great about the Alamo Bowl is that it every school within the city it gets 2 scholarships, one boy, one girl, and it increases every year. Zane got it when he graduated. I think it was like $7,500 or $7,700 and everything, and every year it goes up. Mm-hmm. And that should be going up because I don't know if you heard the news about the Valero Alamo Bowl and how they're being broadcasted on TV coming up in the 2024 season. Yeah,
they're doing some changes.
They're going to ABC. They're moving up. They've always been on ESPN, and it's been so cool. And this is just typical of San Antonio. It's another thing that's typical of San Antonio where we just start off humble and we just stay consistent and just put out good products and build up a good fan base and stay loyal. And like the Alamo Bowl has slowly just gone.
Can I burst your bubble right there real quick? ABC is no longer on antenna television. You have to subscribe to a streaming service to be able to watch it.
That's okay. That's the way of the future.
Yeah, but I hate when you have to have 8 different streaming services to watch all the different things you want to watch.
I hate being on public airwaves where the FCC can tell you what to put on TV and what you can't put on TV.
I'd rather be on public airwaves and not have to pay $50 a month. Maybe I'm just cheap.
Well, I got it. I got a text message from my dad just a little bit ago. It says, "What do you know about Starlink?" And I was like, "I've heard it's pretty good." And he said, "Going to be here in 2 weeks."
So y'all getting it?
He's
going to be
at the house there, and so I'm curious because, like, with that, it's cheaper. It's going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
streaming's cheaper.
That might help, but my biggest thing is I was trying to turn on and watch the NBA Finals. I like watching Luka and Kyrie tear it up. They're fun to watch. And Sunday night I got home, turned it on. Sunday we went to go eat Mr. Juicy. Plug Mr. Juicy. They got a new location coming in. But we went to go eat Mr. Juicy.
Have you been by it?
I haven't.
Have you seen the pictures of it?
Yeah.
It looks really nice. They painted that big old Whataburger. It's all green.
And they'll get some more seating, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But went to Mr. Juicy, went home. I was going to watch the finals. And Channel 12, ABC, is no longer
But I think they worked that. I think they worked that out.
You have to buy a streaming service, either YouTube TV or Tubi.
What do you watch on ABC, anyways, other than the Alamo Bowl?
Me, I don't watch anything. My in-laws, they like to watch KSAT 12 News.
They just fired it. They just fired like 6 people just resigned. I thought
they should have fired everybody for selling out and having to go to a streaming service.
So let me ask you a question. Speaking of Mr. Juicy, let's get the
voted best burger in San Antonio here recently.
When they have their second location open, because right now it's like I would say it's like it's a subcategory, right? Like Burger Boy is better than Whataburger, but would you put Burger Boy in the same category as Mr. Juicy? Would those compete, or is Mr. Juicy in another level? Because they're as affordable, really. Their pricing's great, and it's like they've got drive-through. So are they the same type of burger? So do they compete? So do you have to be a Mr. Juicy guy, or can you be a Burger Boy too?
Man, that is a great question, because normally I would say I think the taste of it is more of a sit-down restaurant.
It's different, but
they have a drive-through.
They got a drive-through, and they got milkshakes.
Yeah, so man, if you put them in the same category, that it hurts me to have to say Burger Boy is going to live in Mr. Juicy's shadow.
Everybody's going to live in Mr. Juicy's shadow. Can you imagine if we had Mr. Juicy on every like that's what we need to export. They need, if Austin, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
One day.
But I think Mr. Juicy's in a class of its own. And while we're talking about playoffs and finals, did you see the Brahmas are going to the championship?
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be in the championship next week.
In the USFL.
So
we can't help it. All we do is win, win, win.
No matter what.
What? Have you heard the 50? Did you? I sent you that 50 Cent video where he was singing in the club, but to like a Conway Twitty, like a country.
Yeah. Well, that's it for today's episode. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.
And tell us if Mr. Juicy is all that or not.
Yeah. And if you say no, you're wrong. See y'all later.